Hey, fellas, it's that time, man. It's time to kick it in. We got a bus kick last week. We supposed to bounce back. Let's bounce back. I ain't got nothing to say else. Work on three. 1, 2, 3. Let's go, baby. Let's go.
Well, the Eagles did get their butts kicked, as Randall said last week, at the hands of the Browns. But 2 weeks ago, Matt, they defeated the Cardinals 17-7. However, Byron Evans is lost to the season with a broken leg. What does that mean for the Eagles today?
Well, I think in the passing game, they lose Byron Evans' big playability. That's something he hadn't had a feel for. You can't teach. But Britt Hager, the guy who's taken over for him, probably is a better run player and has a better feel for the defense. In fact, they told us last night that in terms of getting people lined up, Hager's better.
But it's always Randall Cunningham, and of course he becomes the key on offense, as you've always said. Meanwhile, the Cardinals will have a new quarterback. Schrader is the QB. Steve Berline's had knee surgery. What does it mean for the Cardinals in their hopes today with Schrader?
Well, I think what Jay Schrader brings to the Cardinal offense is big playability. The same thing that Cunningham gives the Eagles. Now, he's more mobile. He's got the big, strong arm. Schrader's the kind of player who can play bad for 3.5 quarters and then beat you at the end.
The Eagles have won the toss and will receive. 61 degrees here, and that is only 5 degrees warmer than it is back east in Philadelphia. A lot of people figure it would be awfully hot and humid. That's not the case. Greg Davis will kick off for the Arizona Cardinals. Herschel Walker back deep along with Vaughn Hebron. And a low squiver picked up by Walker at the 10. And hit and dropped by Brian Reeves. Randall Cunningham, who engineered a big win 2 weeks ago, trying to come off a rough game against the Browns. In fact, the entire Eagle team slumped against Cleveland at Veterans Stadium. Up front, Williams, Davis, Alexander, Holmes, and Thompson, the offensive line. Rich Kotite going with the big backs. James Joseph and Herschel Walker, Calvin Williams and Fred Barnett, the wide receivers, and Mark Bavaro is the tight end. 1st and 10 at the 22. Two tight ends for the Eagles. And a play fake. Simmons deflects the pass and nearly picked it off. Former Eagle Clyde Simmons on the first offensive attempt by Randall Cunningham. Arizona Cardinals, in their strength is the defense. Simmons with Bernard Wilson, Eric Swan, and Michael Bankston. Very strong right side. Marshall, Hill, and Joyner. Joyner, another ex-Eagle at linebacker. Brent Alexander, a rookie, starts at cornerback. Lorenzo Lynch moves from corner to strong safety in the defensive backfield for Arizona. Is to Herschel Walker, and he carries it out to about the 30-yard line. He'll be shy of a first down by about 3. Seth Joyner in on the stop.
Well, remember, Dick, 2 weeks ago when these two teams met, the first play of the game, Cunningham came out and set the tone. And he went on that bootleg and he ran it for 18 yards, and I think he sent a message to the Cardinal defense. Well, today they came out, same formation, same play, and I think the tone was set from the Cardinal defense because they said, look, you're not going to get that stuff on us today. Slap back down in Cunningham's face.
Keith McCants, who played his first game against the Eagles 2 weeks ago, is in there as a nickel pass rusher on 3rd down and 3. Cunningham's pass intended for Calvin Williams. He claims he was held, goes incomplete. Brent Alexander defending, and Philadelphia will have to kick.
Well, he's claiming he's held, but pressure up front by that Cardinal defense. Wilbur Marshall coming off the corner. And I think the Cardinals are setting their tone early. They're saying we're going to be here all game long, much the way it happened in the first game for Philly.
So Bryan Barker will kick, and back deep is Patrick Robinson. So a different start for the Eagles this time than what they experienced at Veterans Stadium. And the kick will drop at the 40 and be down by the Eagles. So the Cardinals held defensively, and now Jay Schrader, who engineered perhaps the most impressive Cardinal win of the year against the Minnesota Vikings in Week 4. Those are Schrader's numbers. The offensive line, Sharp, Dye, Cunningham, Coleman. Joe Wolf at right tackle replaces Rick Cunningham this week. Ronald Moore, the running back. Terry Samuels, impressive rookie H-back. Kroll and Hill, the receivers, and Derek Ware, the tight end. First down on the 41.
see if Schrader doesn't try to go up real early to set the tone offensively for these Cardinals.
That's Samuels in motion, and a flea flicker on the first play of the game for the Cardinals. Jay Schrader will run and be tackled after picking up about 8 yards. And a fumble, and the Eagles may have recovered, and they have. Turnover on the first play.
Well, they went with the flea flicker to try to set the tone right away, like we said. And he tries to go downfield, but great coverage downfield by the Eagles. Nowhere to throw that. They weren't going to be filled. They're going to try to hit him down on the end, but the safety stays and the corner with them all the way. So he ends up having nowhere to go. Down here, all covered. Schrader gets the ball back, and he's going to take off and run. And then Willie Thomas and Greg Townsend, too much speed for Schrader, and they forced the fumble.
And Bill Romanowski recovered the fumble for the Eagles, who have the ball on the Cardinal 46. The pitch is to Herschel Walker off the left side, and he stumbles after picking up a yard on the play. Eric Hill, the middle linebacker, was there. So in the first game 2 weeks ago, the big plays did in Buddy Ryan's team with the 2 long pass plays for touchdowns from Cunningham to Barnett. Now the turnover, and let's see what the Cardinal defense does here.
Well, I think they're still going to set the tone, like we said. You know, it didn't surprise me that Buddy Ryan came right out and tried to go deep right away, because that works to the strength of Schrader. Schrader's one of those quarterbacks that he has to get into the flow of the game. You like to get him in early.
Second down and 9. Cunningham to throw, and he's got time, and he's going deep downfield to Barnett, who is double covered. That's his favorite receiver, and Barnett coming off his career game 2 weeks ago against these Cardinals.
Yeah, but the counter here is the Eagle offensive line, who played terrible last week against the Browns. Here comes Wilbur Marshall off the top. Now they sit back in zone, and now there's just a lot of time to throw. Look up here. See that? A lot of room to step up, set your feet, and throw the ball downfield.
Third down and long. Barnett leading the Eagles receivers with 50 catches. McCanson is a pass rusher, number 90. Third and 9 at the 45. Victor Bailey, the third wide receiver, goes in motion. Out of the shotgun, Cunningham will take off. And a penalty marker down, and Randall Cunningham is short of the first down marker. And there's a flag down at about midfield. Michael Bankston brought him down.
Now this is what Cunningham did very well in the first game. When he read man coverage and he saw the defensive back turn their backs, he just took off and ran. And last time he had big plays, and I think that was the difference.
Number 78 on the offense, 10 yards, still third down.
That's the left guard, Antone Davis, and that has really been a problem for the Eagles all year. 52 offensive penalties, 29 have been of the holding variety, and that leads the National Football League.
Well, at least they're consistent in there. Pretty poor consistency.
And most of it has been the right side with Broderick Thompson. Third down and 19, and the Eagles are back in their own territory. Jameer Miller is in at linebacker, replacing Wilbur Marshall. Cunningham looking for a receiver, guns it, and it's incomplete. He was going for Victor Bailey that time, and it was broken up by Brent Alexander, and Philadelphia will have to kick for the second time. The Eagles do not take advantage of that Cardinal fumble, to the cheers of some 76,000 here.
Cunningham just got himself a zone, and really, that's tough throwing right there, because everybody's sitting back waiting for you to come to them. And now the Eagles are going to force the punt.
Bryan Barker kicking for the second time, and Patrick Robinson back to receive for the Cardinals. Line drive kick. Robinson will try to return from the 14, and he is clobbered immediately. Great coverage by the Eagles special teams. Last week, that was a big problem against the Browns, and it was Herschel Walker on the play. We want to welcome those who saw the Green Bay Packers and the Buffalo Bills tangle at Rich Stadium, with Buffalo winning 29-20. This is Dick Stockton along with Matt Millen. No score in the first quarter here in the rematch between Buddy Ryan, the former Eagle coach, now with the Cardinals, and Rich Kotite's Eagles. First down for the Cardinals on their 19. Hand off to Ronald Moore. He gets a big hole up the middle. And Ronald Moore, with a big gain beyond the 35, picks up 17 before Greg Jackson stops him.
Now this is where Britt Hager is going to have to slow down right now. Ball's going to come right up in the middle, and watch, Hager's going to commit right away. And all Ronald Moore is doing is he's watching Hager, because as soon as he flows, that opens this wide open.
Britt Hager, of course, playing middle linebacker in place of Byron Evans, who was lost for the year with a broken ankle and ligament damage. Broken leg, actually. First down on the 36. Again, they go to Ronald Moore. This time he gets a couple. And William Perry makes the stop. The Eagles, defensively, and they've gotten good production from their front four. Townsend, Perry, Andy Harmon, and William Fuller, who leads the team in sacks. Britt Hager replaces Byron Evans in the middle. In the secondary, Eric Allen, Greg Jackson, Michael Zordich, the ex-Cardinal, who played so well 2 weeks ago against his former team, and Mark McMillan. Larry Centers is now in the backfield. There's Hager at second down and 8. Schrader with a slanting pattern, and it's caught by Ricky Prohl. They get Larry Centers for a short gain of 5, and that'll be 3rd and short coming up.
And the chess match begins with Bud Carson's defense. And this time, Hager is going to come on a blitz, and Schrader sees it. The Cardinals pick it up very well inside, and Schrader goes right away, gets the ball back outside.
The chess game between Buddy Ryan's defense and Bud Carson's defense in Philadelphia.
You can see him getting on Bill Romanowski out there for not following through with something.
Bert Grossman is as a pass rusher for the Eagles, number 69. Schrader going deep. Flag is down, and a fine catch made downfield by Prohl. And now they rule it is incomplete, but there's a penalty marker down at the 45. Otis Smith, the nickelback, defending Prohl downfield. Dale Hamer is our referee today.
Larry Centers did an outstanding job of picking up the blitz.
Defense, number 51, lined up in the neutral zone. 5 yards.
Again, penalties on the Eagles, this time on William Thomas. 5-yard penalty. It's been a problem for Rich Kotite all season long. And a first down with that 5-yard penalty marked off, so the Cardinals shut shy of midfield. No score first quarter, first down on the 48. Here's Ronald Moore, very nearly had the ball knocked out of his hands. Greg Jackson came in to stop him, and a good gain of 7 for Moore, who's the leading rusher, and 6th in the NFC coming into this game.
The one thing that the Arizona Cardinals do consistently is they run that inside game. You're going to watch the wham block back inside with the tight end Samuels. Now, he should take you to the football. They have not deviated at all from that. You see it right back inside, and then everybody stopped up. Moore has the presence to bounce it back outside.
Moore left their earlier game with a slight concussion in Philadelphia in the 3rd quarter. Second down and 4. Here's Moore, and he's not going to get the necessary yardage, so it'll be 3rd down. Andy Harmon, with help from Eric Allen, coming up from the secondary.
Well, I'll tell you what happens in this league, and it's happening to the Eagles right now. Once a team exposes a weakness, whenever that is in the season, you can bet the next week that the following team is just going to keep on doing it. Now, last week, Leroy Horde blew holes in the defense of the Eagles. And right now, the Cardinals are coming out, and they're just going to keep on attacking in the run until you stop them.
Cardinals have the worst third down efficiency in the NFL. They have a 3rd and 3 with 4 wide receivers out of the shotgun for Schrader.